Where did the numbers come in to end the year in December of 2021? Where do we think the market's headed next year? Did Chris and Jessica agree on her forecast she put out last week? That's what we're talking about today, starting right now. Everyone, I'm Chris. I'm one of the guys on the team. Jessica will be back next week. And like I said in the intro there, and on this thumb, where I'm basically thinking about Jessica, thinking about the market, just playing around a little bit with forecasts and how everyone has an opinion on where the stock market is, where the real estate market's headed, everything macroeconomic. But if you didn't see Jessica's forecast video, I recommend you do check it out. Let me give you a little recap right now though. The main article that Jessica cites in her forecast video is from Fortune magazine, and they cite Realtor.com, who's saying 2.9% is their forecast for next year compared to 19.5% this year, and these are national numbers, and that's just sort of attention grabbing because 2.9% is so low. It'd be the lowest since 2012 if they happen to be right. And Jessica's video talks about why prices have been going up so much the last few years. It's because of the low inventory and the low interest rates. Nothing new there, but she digs into that pretty well if you want to check that out. I have another extra piece of info for you on loan limit changes. Check out that conventional loan limit of $647,200 compared to $548,250 that it was before. Basically a $100,000 increase on your conventional loan limit. Now this info is put together by Dale Walker. He's our go-to lender. I've got a link to it in the description below if you want to download that. He has a nice format here laid out nicely for you. And in that article they also cover CoreLogic and Redfin. CoreLogic saying 2.5%, Redfin saying 3.0%, so basically real close to that Realtor.com 2.9%. All of those are surprisingly low to me. Next is Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae at 7.0 and 7.9%, and those numbers are lower but a little bit more realistic seeming. Jessica feels that that's where she feels it's going to be next year. We say 8% in our forecast video. And then there's Zillow in that article as well. They got 13.6%. And here's something that Chris and Jessica disagree on. I respect and admire the company Zillow a little bit more than most real estate agents out there. A lot of the industry agents and the industry as a whole just wait for a big company like Zillow to fail. And that's basically what they did with the Zillow Offers program. The CEO, Rich Barton, on the last quarterly conference call when they announced that they were going to be pulling the plug on the iBuyer program, I like how he said we took a big swing and missed, that they just missed on how difficult it is to buy a property and sell it again and make money. They tried it for 2-3 years and they lost several hundred million just last quarter and then over the life of that program. But I don't think that's any reason to totally discount what Zillow thinks. They've been around for 15 years. They have millions, tens of millions of loyal users, hundreds of millions of page visits each month, and of course every day. Some people are on there. I'm more inclined to appreciate and respect what Zillow has to say with their 13% forecast number, and I feel like that is more accurate for our market. Southern California is hotter than the rest of the nation. There's a lot of hot markets out there, but ours has been 15 to 20, sometimes 20+% for a year, going on 2 years now. For our buyer clients, I do hope it starts to mellow out and gets closer to 10 or even 5 to 10% would be a nice, healthy year-over-year increase. I just feel like it's not going to be that way. I think the beginning of this year and at least into the second half of next year is going to continue to be more of the same. We'll have to see what happens by this time next year, and if I'm way off and Jessica's right, she's usually right, I'll admit it, and we'll see what happens by the end of next year. All right, let's start with the median sales price in Murrieta. We have $646,000 versus $525,000 the prior year, up 23%. Menifee, $547,000 versus $437,000 the prior year, that's up 25%. And finally, Temecula, $695,000 versus $580,000 the prior year, that's up 19.8%, almost 20%. So here's the Chris forecast for Murrieta. I'm gonna say 15%. Just basically throwing the dart at the dartboard, thinking about Zillow and what's been going on the last 2 years, 20+%. I'm gonna say 15%. So that would be $735,000 compared to the $646,000 in December of 2021. Menifee, $547,060 versus $437,000 is up 25%. This one has been on a percentage basis higher than our other two cities, Murrieta and Temecula. So I'm going to say 18% in Menifee, 645,000 versus 547,000 in December 2021. That's 18%. The prices do continue to be lower compared to Murrieta and Temecula. I feel like Menifee just has more room to go up, so I'm going to call it that 18%. Finally, Temecula, 695,000 versus 580,000. That's up 19.8%. Let's call it 20% even. Trim this one down to be my lowest forecast. I'm going to say 10%. Okay, so 10% in Temecula would be 760,000 versus 695,000 this year. And the only reason I say that is because those prices are getting so high, it's basically starting to look like North San Diego County around here. So I'm going to say 10% in Temecula, 760,000 next year. Closed sales in Murrieta, 200 versus 240 last year is down. Menifee, 230 versus 229 is basically flat. And Temecula, 172 versus 203 is also down versus the prior year. From time to time this year, we've slipped in the closed sales of Jessica and me and the Genung team. And me and Jessica, we think about this hard, we talk about it a lot. Should we show these stats to people? Is it bragging? Is it humble bragging, or is it really bragging? And it's a tough call, but we do it sometimes here. Now, if you check out Jessica Genung Homes on Instagram, you'll see this post yesterday by Jessica. It's one of those year in review stats posts that you see a lot of real estate agents do. And here's the picture from my buddy Chris Connors, Robert Downey Jr. rolling his eyes. Now Jessica, she was trying to be jokey about this. She has the 36,000 bottles of wine at the bottom there, the 592 panic attacks, and it says laugh out loud next to it. That's a joke. Laugh out loud, haha. 4,126 offers written. That's also a joke. We didn't do that many, obviously, but it was a couple hundred this year for sure. Now the top two lines on that slide are true. The volume in dollars, the sales, and the number of transactions. It says number of happy clients, number of families helped find a new home. Median days on market, starting with Murrieta, 11 versus 7 last month. 10 versus 8 the prior month in Menifee. Both of those are starting to slowly tick up, and I've been talking about that a lot the last few update videos, focusing more on Temecula. But unfortunately, Temecula this month in stats, 8 versus 7. Now when I've been watching Temecula, that's the one that's been ticking up some. That's a stat I'm hopeful for our buyers that's going in the right direction. All right, last stat, number of listings starting with Murrieta. We have 125 versus 190 last year, that's down 34%. Menifee, 185 versus 156 is up 18.6%. And finally, Temecula, 140 versus 183. Last December is down 23.4%. Been saying this for quite a few months of stat updates. I feel like things are returning to normal. I hope they do continue to become more normal and we get 200, 250, 300 and more listings in each of those cities, and it starts to balance out a little bit more the buyers and the sellers. I hope I'm right about that. I do hope I'm wrong about the price increases. Let me know in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching. Bye.